Chosen one, God is about to shock you with a massive transfer. Something powerful is happening behind the scenes of your life. The timing has aligned, the energy has shifted, and the movement of heaven toward your life is undeniable. Now, chosen one, prepare yourself. What you're about to witness will not be subtle, and it will not go unnoticed. God is not only planning to bless you, He is about to shock you. This is not the kind of shift that slips in quietly. This is a divine orchestration so grand, so undeniable, that your entire life will testify to the power of God's hand upon you. You are standing on the edge of a transfer so massive, so divine, it will echo through every area of your existence. And when it arrives, you'll know this wasn't luck. It wasn't random. This was God's holy decision. This was the appointed moment. This was the breakthrough your spirit always sensed, even in the silence. Watch this video until the end, and write in the comments your warmest wishes, and write Amen. This symbolic act is a powerful way to energize the universe and welcome the flow of divine alignment into your life. Let the words carry your intentions upward, releasing them into the heavens. You are not drawn to this message by chance. Something greater is pulling you closer to the manifestation of everything you've ever prayed for. Now, chosen one, press the hype button and like this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. God has already decided that this is the moment for your turnaround. It won't look like what anyone else expected. The most beautiful thing about God's transfers is how unexpectedly they arrive. You may have assumed the blessing would come through a specific door, a known pathway. But this blessing will detour every assumption. It will cancel every delay. The shock won't be because it's impossible. It'll be because it's so personal, tailored for you, designed from the beginning of time with your name on it. There's nothing accidental about what's about to land in your life. You're not being set up for a minor shift. You're being chosen for a divine demonstration. God is about to make a point through you, and He will make it loud. The ones who discounted you will not be able to overlook this shift. They will watch from the shadows as God pours into your hands what generations before you prayed to see. This is not a gentle trickle. This is a flood, a spiritual wealth flood, an overflow designed to position you exactly where you were always meant to stand in influence, in legacy, in divine favor. The magnitude of what's coming will silence every critic and confirm every silent promise. You've been carrying the vibration of wealth and elevation in your spirit for longer than you realized. Even in moments of drought, your inner world refused to collapse. That persistence was never in vain. Heaven took notes. Every time you remained faithful in obscurity, every time you poured from an empty cup, God counted it. And now He's about to repay you. Not equally, but exponentially. This is not the season of slow returns. This is the season of sudden floods. The kind of wealth that's spiritual first, but financial too. God has been preparing resources in unseen realms. What's been inaccessible to others is now being rerouted to you. The vaults of heaven are opening not by your effort, but by divine instruction. When God decides to release something, nothing can hold it back. Not timing, not people, not resistance. And God has decided you will receive this massive transfer. Chosen one, the blessing that's on its way to you carries more than material value. It carries identity, it carries purpose, it carries correction, it carries healing, and it carries validation. You won't have to explain yourself. The manifestation will speak. What God gives you now will tell your whole story, from silent suffering to supernatural supply. It will be impossible to ignore. The shock factor is part of the blessing. God is not just providing. He's making a statement through you. You didn't go through the wilderness just to survive it. You went through it to walk out of it, glowing, transformed, rebuilt. When God sends a transfer, He also upgrades the vessel. You will not receive this blessing in your old form. He's been renewing you piece by piece. The loneliness that was training, the betrayal that was sharpening, the silence that was insulation. Now, as the transfer descends, you'll feel the alignment. Your inner world and outer world finally speaking the same language power. And when this arrives, don't be surprised if your atmosphere shifts instantly. Certain people will exit. Certain distractions will evaporate. The blessing comes with boundaries. God is not just giving you access, He's giving you protection. This transfer will not drain you. It will expand you. It will elevate your relationships, your decisions, your perception. Everything touched by this divine release will rise with it. God didn't forget what you sacrificed. He didn't overlook what you gave up. And He surely didn't abandon what He promised. In fact, He's delivering it in a way that ensures full circle moments. Moments where you realize why certain doors were blocked, why certain delays were divine, why certain people couldn't go with you. This transfer is pure. It's intentional and it's rooted in everything you're becoming. You're not just receiving resources, you're receiving confirmation. You were always meant to carry this. There's an energy that surrounds you now, and it's heavy with purpose. Heaven is leaning in. The angels are already assigned. The command has already been spoken. God's hand is already moving. And all of this is for one undeniable outcome: to shock you with a transfer so massive it turns everything in your life. Stay ready, chosen one. Your spiritual vault is being unlocked. The frequency around your life has shifted. What once felt like resistance has now turned into divine propulsion. You may not see every detail yet, but the atmosphere knows. The realm of spirit is already responding. You're not waiting anymore. You're receiving. Chosen one. This is the moment the invisible becomes visible. The transfer that God orchestrated is entering your life in ways that will shake the foundation of your understanding. It's not coming gently. It's coming like a force. Because this is not just provision. This is prophecy being fulfilled in real time. Your name has been whispered in divine chambers, not in judgment, not in delay, but in activation. What God is releasing over you now was stored and protected, kept from decay and interference, because it had to arrive in its purest form. This transfer is a divine reward with spiritual DNA coded just for you. It's sacred. It will come through channels you couldn't have predicted, through connections you never expected, and in timing that feels too perfect to explain. That's because it's not man-made. This is the kind of movement only God could arrange. There is power in divine delay. You may have questioned why it didn't happen sooner. You may have cried out in rooms where no one heard you, wondering if your obedience had gone unnoticed. But the truth is, every second was calculated. God was not punishing you. He was perfecting the blessing. What you're receiving now is not rushed. It is seasoned with the weight of heaven, molded by divine timing, and wrapped in the spiritual signature of legacy. It will last because it was never meant to be temporary. God doesn't release mass just to see it fade. He releases with eternal intent. This massive transfer has your spiritual fingerprint on it, and because of that, it cannot be stolen, diverted, or intercepted. There may have been delays, detours, and dark nights of confusion, but none of that can override the command God has already released. This is divine wealth coming through spiritual inheritance. It's not just money, it's movement. It's not just elevation, it's evidence. Evidence that God did not just watch you suffer, He documented it. And now He's balancing the books in your favor. Chosen one, you're not receiving this out of pity. You're receiving this out of purpose. God does not reward based on emotion. He rewards based on truth. The truth of your endurance. The truth of your silent sacrifices. The truth of your unwavering belief in the unseen. Even when everything around you suggested it was over. This transfer is the culmination of every unseen seed you planted. Seeds in prayer, seeds in patience, seeds in the refusal to give up. And now the vaults of heaven are opening because your name has been summoned for fulfillment. This fulfillment will not look like what you thought. It will be more. It will exceed you. It will humble you. And it will announce to everything around you that your waiting was not in vain. God is not late. He's precise. And His precision has targeted you in this hour for breakthrough. Not subtle, not soft, but shocking. An undeniable demonstration of what happens when divine wealth is released into a ready vessel. What you're about to walk into will make the past make sense. Every delay, every betrayal, every isolation, all of it was training for this moment. You couldn't have carried this level of blessing back then. It would have crushed you. But now you are fortified. You've been expanded from the inside. The pain reshaped your capacity. The silence deepened your trust. The losses strengthened your discernment. And all of it has positioned you for a transfer that isn't just coming to you. It's coming through you. Because this blessing won't stop at your feet. It will flow into your environment, into your family, into your calling, into everything connected to your divine purpose. It's not just about you. It's about the legacy you are about to ignite. The wealth isn't just financial. It's spiritual, mental, emotional, and generational. You are being given keys to open doors others will walk through. You are being trusted with access, not just for celebration, but for construction. You're building something eternal now. And let this be clear, when God moves, He doesn't need permission. He doesn't consult people. He doesn't ask for validation. The transfer coming to you will not make sense to those who weren't there when you were crying behind closed doors. It will confuse the ones who watched you struggle, but it will confirm everything God whispered to you in the dark. This is your confirmation, the day you always knew would come, but never knew how. It's here. God's voice has thundered through the corridors of the unseen, and the ripple of that sound is reaching your earthly life now. Everything is being restructured in your favor. The plans of others are being rearranged to bless you. The movements of money, opportunity, favor, and access are bending toward your name. And when it arrives, you will stand still, not in disbelief, but in reverent awe, because something inside you always knew it was going to be big. There is a divine acceleration happening around you. What once took years will now take moments. You're no longer walking, you're being carried by the current of something higher. Chosen one. This is not just a shift in your external world. This is a spiritual announcement. The heavens have opened and the delivery of what you were promised is underway. There is no force that can interfere, no scheme that can block, no delay that can hold what's already moving toward you. The system of heaven has already dispatched the massive transfer that belongs to you. The magnitude of this blessing is going to press against everything you've known. It's going to demand that you expand, think wider, stand taller, receive deeper. This transfer isn't just a reward, it's a responsibility, because it's not arriving to validate your past. It's arriving to activate your future. God didn't send this to decorate your life. He sent it to redefine your life. You're not the same person who prayed at the beginning. You've been changed by the wilderness, matured by the waiting, molded by the fire, and now you're ready to carry something heaven couldn't trust to just anyone. You may feel the weight of this moment before it fully arrives. That's how spiritual movements work. They echo before they appear. Your spirit has been sensing this shockwave before your eyes can see it. The sudden emotional shifts, the strange calm and chaos, the inner stillness in the face of uncertainty. All signs. The spiritual realm is adjusting around you. The framework of your life is being rearranged in silence. This is how God moves, not with chaos, but with a holy quietness that precedes glory. This moment is about to separate your life into two timelines. Before the transfer and after the transfer, because when God releases this, nothing in your environment will remain untouched. Relationships will align, doors will open, dead ends will suddenly become throughways. Your name will be spoken in rooms you've never entered, and your favor will speak before you do. What took others 10 steps will now take you 1. Not because you are more deserving, but because God has spoken over your journey. Accelerate. People who once dismissed you will be stunned into silence. They will wonder how you moved so quickly, how everything changed so suddenly, but they won't know the depths of your stillness, the weight of your obedience, the fire you endured. They won't see the nights you word in the spirit while everyone else slept. But heaven saw, God saw, and now he's responding in a way that leaves no doubt. You were chosen for this. And let this truth be planted deep in your spirit. This transfer is not temporary. It's not a fleeting high. It's a new foundation. What's being given to you will not evaporate. It will multiply. This isn't survival anymore. This is dominion. God is giving you authority through the blessing, not to boast, not to compete, but to build. You will build legacy, build structures, build spiritual ecosystems that outlive you. This blessing is not just personal, it's prophetic. It's meant to echo into the lives of others. You are being positioned for prominence, but not the kind of prominence the world offers. This is heavenly elevation. It's the kind that puts you in rooms of influence, not for fame, but for divine agenda. You'll be placed before kings. You'll sit in decision-making seats. You'll hold influence with quiet confidence because the blessing didn't come through manipulation. It came through sanctification. You didn't earn it through strategy. You received it through submission. The blessing you're about to receive will not need to be explained. It will explain you. Your elevation will clarify your journey. Your breakthrough will vindicate your silence. Your wealth will declare your faith. You won't have to make announcements. The blessing will do it for you. It will speak louder than any voice, louder than any doubt, louder than any attack. And it will echo not just into your circle, but into your lineage. Because this is not a single blessing. It's a river, a never-ending flow of provision, strategy, and clarity. It's the kind of blessing that restructures generations. This transfer is God's response not just to you, but to everything that tried to eliminate you. Everything that tried to stop your voice, kill your confidence, bury your vision. The transfer is God's way of saying, I saw it all and I decided that nothing would be wasted. Chosen one, prepare yourself for the kind of overflow that doesn't fit neatly into your old systems. You will need to expand your perception, elevate your expectation, open your arms wider because this isn't a blessing that fits in a box. It will pour over every line, overflow into every area. This is abundance on another level. And it's not a concept anymore. It's real, it's here, and it's God ordained. The moment is approaching where everything turns. Not gradually, not gently, but suddenly. There's an energy gathering behind your name, and it's no longer waiting in silence. This isn't just the arrival of something good, it's the unleashing of something massive. The blessing has matured. The instructions have been released. The timing has been confirmed. And God is setting the stage not for a small reveal, but for a holy unveiling, chosen one. What's coming to you carries the signature of heaven. It is heavy with meaning. It is filled with divine strategy, and it is completely irreversible. You are not standing at the edge of possibility. You're standing in the current of fulfillment. And this fulfillment is not random. It is the result of an invisible decision made in the spiritual realm. This was God's idea, God's plan, God's timeline. What you're walking into now is not just destiny. It is divine demonstration. The world will see what God does when he takes someone who is overlooked and elevates them beyond all reasonable explanation. The shock will not be just in the size of the blessing. It will be in the swiftness. It will be in the clarity. It will be in the way it makes everything before this moment make complete sense. You'll recognize this shift by the immediate release of burdens. The weight you've carried for years will lift in what feels like an instant. The confusion that haunted your decisions will clear. The silence that followed your obedience will break. What once was blocked will open. And it won't take effort on your part. It will simply happen. Because when a divine transfer is activated, your job is not to fight for it. Your job is to receive it. God's shock doesn't come through struggle. It comes through surrender. And now all the silent rooms you waited in are about to echo with movement. All the seeds you planted in the unseen are about to burst into manifestation. Your life is not just shifting. It's being reordered, rewritten, rebuilt, and not from human intervention, but from holy interruption. This is a disruption of the ordinary, a divine detour that places you exactly where you were always meant to be, even if it took you through pain to get there. God doesn't waste delay. He builds it into the strategy. What's coming isn't a repeat, it's a revolution. And you'll feel it first in your atmosphere. Doors that were sealed will open without knocking. Conversations will start about you that you didn't initiate. Alignments will form where there was once distance. And the resources, they'll arrive in waves. Not just enough to fix things, but more than enough to start things. This transfer is launching something that will live long after you. Your name is now tied to something eternal. Because this is bigger than money. This is about structure, stability, spiritual legacy. It's about wealth that awakens generations, vision that sparks movements, and favor that lifts the forgotten. You're not just receiving for yourself. You're receiving for those connected to your calling. God doesn't give you massive transfers so you can sit quietly in the background. He gives them to those who are ready to steward impact. And that's who you've become. There is something you must know. Your struggle didn't disqualify you. It qualified you. The moments where you were misunderstood, underestimated, pushed aside, those were divine filters. They kept you clean from the contamination of ego. And now that your hands are clean, your heart is steady, and your soul is aligned, God can finally place in your hands what was always yours. You didn't lose time. You gained depth. And now the depth within you matches the weight of the blessing above you. When the transfer lands, it will not ask for permission. It will simply announce itself. you'll look up and realize everything has changed. The very air around you will feel different. The timing of your life will suddenly make sense. The conversations will start to align. Your surroundings will begin to reflect your spirit. And the people who once doubted your path, they will be the first to see your confirmation. Not in your words, but in your wealth. You are being prepared for a display, not for attention, but for evidence. Your life will show others what God can do with someone who stayed faithful, someone who didn't rush the process, someone who trusted even when it hurt. And in this display, God will reveal more than just blessing. He will reveal his nature through you. You will become a walking example of what divine timing produces, and every step you take will carry the fragrance of fulfillment. This is the part where fear fades, where uncertainty dissolves, where you no longer wonder if it's coming, because now you know it's here. The atmosphere around you is heavy with movement. The spiritual realm has already delivered it. The physical realm is catching up. Prepare your space. Prepare your spirit. Because this shock is not something you'll recover from. It's something you'll rise with. There's a trembling in the air around you, not from fear, but from power. The kind of power that signals a divine movement is taking place. Chosen one. The vibration has shifted. The spiritual landscape is no longer quiet. The preparation phase has ended. What's approaching isn't a glimpse or a teaser. It's a full release. This is the moment where divine force meets divine timing. This is the hour where God's intention manifests as substance, not hope, not promise. Reality. Tangible, visible, undeniable reality. The massive transfer that's being delivered into your hands carries more than blessing. It carries verdict. It is heaven's confirmation that your faith was not misplaced. Your process was not pointless. Your pain was not random. The decision has already been made. The floodgates are open. The shock is not in the appearance of what's coming, but in its size, in its precision, and in how suddenly it turns your world inside out. Not to ruin it, but to reveal it. Everything is about to look different, because this is a divine reintroduction of you to the world, backed by a holy overflow. You've waited long enough, not because you were forgotten, but because what's being delivered required perfect conditions. It wasn't just about your readiness. It was about global readiness. God aligned the systems, the people, the timing, and the environment. And now everything is echoing one word in the spirit. Now, it's not coming. It has already left heaven's hands. What you're sensing isn't anticipation, it's contact. You're feeling the early waves of the incoming. This kind of transfer rewrites lineage. It doesn't just bless your hands, it corrects your bloodline. It resets what was broken before you. It restores what was stolen from those behind you. This isn't just about prosperity. It's about prophetic justice. This is heaven repaying what hell tried to erase. This is spiritual compensation for every year you walked in darkness while carrying light. God saw every silent cry, every private fast, every night where you swed seeds in the unseen. And now the harvest is coming. But it's not ordinary, it's extravagant. Chosen one. There is no warning that can prepare you for the size of this outpouring. It will arrive in waves. At first, a whisper, then a confirmation, then a crash. It will touch your bank account, your opportunities, your relationships, your calling. But beyond that, it will touch your inner knowing. You will feel anchored, unshaken, unapologetic, not because of ego, but because of clarity. Because the blessing will fit so perfectly, it will feel like it was stitched from the fabric of your own spirit. And others will notice. They won't be able to ignore the shift in you. Some will celebrate. Some will observe in silence. Others may resist, confused by the glow they didn't expect to see on someone they thought they understood. But don't fear their reactions. The shock is part of the story. This transfer wasn't meant to blend in. It was meant to stand out. It was meant to magnify the God behind it. It was meant to force people to reevaluate how they treat the anointed, how they perceive those who walk quietly in obedience. This is not the end of your story. It's the unveiling of the real chapter. The previous seasons were camouflage, protective coverings that kept the enemy blind to what was maturing within you. But now, there's no more hiding. God is saying, "Reveal what I planted in you." And this transfer is the light switch. It will illuminate what you carry, fund what you dream, support what you envision, and restore what you lost. What's beautiful about this moment is that it's unearned, but not undeserved. You didn't purchase this breakthrough with performance. You received it through posture, through humility, through surrender. That's why it's so massive, because your spirit is aligned with something eternal, and God knows when someone is ready to handle the weight of favor without folding under it. You're no longer fragile. You're fortified. You're not guessing anymore. You're grounded. And now, because of all of that, God is trusting you with influence. The kind of influence that turns keys, starts movements, and releases others into freedom. Your wealth is not random. It's strategic. Your favor is not for decoration. It's for activation. What you carry will inspire, shift, and uplift countless others. And it all begins with this shock, with this divine disruption that elevates everything and everyone around you. So stand tall, chosen one. This is the part where heaven invades your timeline. This is where you stop trying to force outcomes and start flowing with destiny. The river is already rushing. The skies are already open. The transfer is already landing. The only thing left now is for you to step into it fully. No doubt, no delay, no retreat. Just surrender. Because when God shocks you, He does it with the intent to transform. Not temporarily, but eternally. There is a holy weight on your name right now. Not the kind that burdens you, but the kind that announces you. Chosen one, the air around your life has shifted permanently. You're not in the same realm you were in even a week ago. Something divine has cracked open. And what's pouring into your existence cannot be reversed. This is the full release of what God has been preparing in silence. You are now living inside the moment that will be referred to as the shock that changed everything. You may not know it yet, but the shift has already happened. This isn't something you're waiting on anymore. This is something you're about to walk directly into. The spiritual vault that was sealed off for a set time has now been commanded to open. The sound of that opening may not be audible in the physical yet, but your spirit has already heard it. That sudden calm you've been feeling, that unusual confidence, that unexpected peace, it's not coincidence, it's confirmation. You're hearing heaven's movement in your atmosphere. This massive transfer is not just a material event. It's a spiritual appointment. It's the arrival of everything God stored, guarded, and timed perfectly on your behalf. No enemy could touch it. No delay could dilute it. No detour could delete it. What was meant for you is still meant for you. And now, finally, it's moving with acceleration, with power, with force, not toward just anyone, but toward you, because you endured the process. You submitted when it hurt. You trusted when it made no sense. And God never forgot. The transfer won't ask you if you're ready. It will arrive because you are. God's measurements are not based on how you feel. They're based on what you've become. and what you've become in the hidden places of your life is more powerful than what anyone sees publicly. You are a vessel forged in silence, a soul shaped in the shadows, a spirit anchored by invisible roots. And now that you've been grounded, God can elevate you without fear of collapse. This transfer will not destroy you. It will define you. You'll notice how everything bends around this blessing. People, opportunities, information, and resources will begin to find you. You won't have to chase anymore. The shift in spiritual gravity has magnetized your presence. You are now a carrier of divine assignment, and everything tied to that assignment is coming into place. What used to resist you will now request you. What used to be above you is now aligned with you. That's what happens when God shocks a chosen one. He flips the script in one supernatural motion. Don't expect everyone to understand what's happening. They weren't there during your nights of surrender. They didn't witness your quiet obedience, your consistent faith, your private discipline. So when this transfer appears, it will baffle them. They'll look for an explanation, but there won't be one that fits their reasoning. Because this is not a business transaction. It's not a reward from the world. This is a spiritual intervention.